DEF CON, we've been around 32 years. This is our big event. And I think 2015, DARPA did a Cyber Grand Challenge and held it at DEF CON. And I think the reason they selected DEF CON was sort of the hacker spirit and the hacker creativity, and they wanted to use what back then we didn't call AI, but we were trying to use automated attack and defense. And since DEF CON is the originator of the concept of the Capture the Flag contest, it was just kind of natural for them to bring this automatic CTF to our venue. Well, fast forward to today, and now DARPA thought that maybe this community would be the right place to roll out a more AI-centric large language model defense. I think the community really enjoys it, right? They really like being asked to help, and DARPA is really hard to say no to, because, I mean, who says no to the people that help build the internet? Bringing that level of quality and ingenuity is important to show off, I think, to our audience, because it makes them feel terribly respected. Like, look, they're bringing their A game. This isn't like some simple setup. It's like they're really building it out for us. And I think that really shows the level of interest from DARPA. And so I love everything from sitting in the pretend ride, right, with the puffers and the motion sensor, right, and tricking your senses a little sensory hack to get you in a different mind space before you even enter the area. Great transitions. I mean, yeah, all the attention to detail is really good. DEF CON didn't go and seek DARPA, but the moment we heard they were interested, we're like, hell yes, right? I mean, of course. And we love the idea of giving opportunities to our community to see how, cutting edge works. How does DARPA think about these problems? How does the healthcare sector think about these problems, right? ARPA-H, I thought was a really interesting addition, generally because, healthcare has a lot of additional regulations and requirements. So I think it's harder for healthcare to sometimes get involved in some of these conversations. And so they get overlooked because people just want to go where there's less friction. And so if it's hard to do health, they just don't do health. They'll do the next easiest thing. So for them to combine with DARPA, I think is a great way for them to try to attract more of that attention back on themselves and say, hey, look, we need help too. And we're willing to do what it takes to try to involve you. So it's kudos to them for thinking a little laterally, a little differently, and combining with DARPA. And what I'm hoping is that they have a great experience this year, and then next year for the finals, we'll really start to take it to the next level, because initiatives like this are going to be necessary because vulnerability is not slowing down, and we really have to step back and take a new approach of thinking, how are we going to deal with this? And automation and AI is going to play a big role in that solution. Very early, I guess, critical infrastructure, you could say, was hackers would war dial numbers and identify dams and water systems, right? And then they would say, why is this on dial-up? And then they'd contact the FBI and be like, you got to get this thing off, right? Because it's got a default password of Otter, and anybody can open and close these, right? Like, we're just trying to break into universities to get free internet, and we found this, dam system that's like, that clearly should not be there. And the interesting thing now is, in critical infrastructure, it could be a solenoid or a valve, remote valve system that can be used in 100 different applications. Critical infrastructure over here, it's absolutely not critical infrastructure over here. Maybe it's just automation, but it's using essentially the same software, the same infrastructure, the same network design. So it's not like there's closed software and open software. There's open source software in basically everything. It's just a question of, is the business model a closed source model with support and additional features or not? But closed source is everywhere. So anything that improves the software quality, reduces defects in open source software, helps everybody. When you start talking about what can we do to improve the safety of open source, what we're finding is finding problems is not the issue. We can, unlimited number of problems we can identify. The problem is fixing them, right? Bug fatigue. So if AI can play a role, I think its most critical role in open source is the protection, the correction, right? So the automatic patching, the automatic code generation, code rewriting, refactoring, anything in that area, I think will be a burden off the shoulders of maintainers because it's overwhelming. So something DEF CON's doing this year that's new is we're launching this DEF CON Franklin initiative. And one of the first projects we're going to do with Franklin is we're going to try to work with the the Rural Water Association to try to get them help in protecting their water systems. And so I think we're hoping to see a good reaction from our community wanting to help out there. So whether you're helping DARPA or ARPA-H or maybe the rural water, I think we're trying to channel that energy somehow, and our first big initiative in exploring this is going to be this Franklin initiative. I think AI is really coming into its own because at the heart of AI is prediction. They're prediction engines. What do we generate next? Should we turn the car right or left? And it turns out that in protecting networks, there's a lot of prediction. Is this a good login? Is this a bad login? Anything that can automate the defense, speed up defense, is going to help the world. And it's going to take that burden off humans that are trying to figure out what's going on. Let's free up the humans to do the higher value decision making. Let's let the machines do the repetitive, high speed, boring stuff, right? And I think that we're at the beginning of this age where we can finally burden shift some of this cognitive load into machines.